nothing fascinating about the Commanders currently, although they were in the playoff mix. For all the dysfunction, all the problems, all the issues, they were in it until the very end. Here's Ron Rivera, coach of the team, Martin Mayhew, general manager, talking about their search for a quarterback moving forward now that Carson Wentz and Taylor Heineke presumably will both be gone.
Well, I think starting it, going into it, I think we're in a much better place.
Well, you pretty much have to enter every season and look at the entire landscape of what's available. And I thought we did a really good job of that last year. We talked about drafting guys, we talked about who we could trade for, and we talked about free agents. And we went through the entire process of all those guys and did a very thorough evaluation. We will do the same thing this year. We're not going to rule out acquiring a vet. We'll go through the entire landscape of who's available. We'll evaluate them, and we'll get to a consensus on somebody.
Yeah, they wanted Matthew Stafford 2 years ago, and they were pissed because there was no way it wasn't going to be a Rams-Lions transaction. But the reaction to that was they called everybody last year, and they got dragged for it. But, I mean, what the hell? Call everybody. Well, it's a phone call. It's not even something that shows up on your bill anymore like a long-distance charge. It's free. Just pick up the damn phone and call. Call every team. See who's available. There's going to be a lot of guys available this year. And, it's not like they've seen enough from Sam Howell to say he's going to be the guy. Maybe he's a guy you develop for 24 or 25. I don't know. I mean, I think there's some good things there.
Yeah.
But I'm torn because I've suggested they should just give him a season. But there's going to be enough guys out there. And when there's that many guys out there, maybe you can get one at a pretty good deal where you're not paying him a ton of money and you're not making a huge investment of draft picks. You can sign a guy who's a free agent. I mean, hell, you could go after Mike White and have Mike White and Sam Howell compete. I don't know. But there's a lot of options this year, whether it's trades, whether it's guys who are going to be free agents, maybe guys who are going to be cut. And I think it's smart when you don't have a long-term answer to see everything that's out there before you make your decision.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like there's going to be a lot of options like you're talking about in free agency. Seems like there's going to be a decent amount of options in the draft. It sounds like it's a pretty strong class. I know it's early phases. I haven't dug into that yet. But, that's what, people I trust. It sounds like that. But they got to figure out is just, what do they want to do? Where are they at the current status of their team? There's a part of me that looks at Washington and just goes, wait, rookie quarterback? I don't know about that, right? I mean, to me, they're ready kind of right now. You got Terry McLaurin in his prime, Curtis Samuel, Jahan Dotson ready. I mean, the defense, we know, a few guys in the secondary, and watch out. I mean, there's not a lot of issues, or at least big issues I look at with Washington. I think the O-line's probably the biggest thing I look at. Another guy or two in the secondary, and you go, wait, okay, I feel pretty good about what they got. The quarterback's a big thing. Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield. I don't know. I mean, damn, the way New England's talking, is Mac Jones going to be available? What about Ryan Tannehill in Tennessee? What's going to happen there? I think there's a lot of different ways this offseason could shake out, and there could be some real viable options for this football team. I'm kind of excited to see what they do, because I do think if they make the right move here, they're a team that, could jump out at us next year with some of the talent they have at certain positions and be a major player.
What continues to fascinate me is the connection between Jack Del Rio and Derek Carr, because Del Rio was the head coach when Carr first emerged as a potential MVP candidate, 2016. That was the year that the Raiders finally got back to the playoffs for the first time since the Super Bowl loss to the Buccaneers to cap the 2002 season, and Carr suffered the broken leg late in the year, didn't play in the playoff game. But Del Rio was the coach there. So he knows, of all the guys currently in the NFL, he knows Derek Carr better than any of them, and he's running the defense still in Washington. And I assume he's going to still be running it, because yesterday was the day they fired offensive coordinator Scott Turner, who had been with Ron Rivera for 7 years, the son of Norv Turner. And, Chris, this makes me nervous for the Commanders because
right,
you're going to have a hard time finding a good offensive coordinator. The team's going to be sold, presumably.
Yeah.
The new owner's possibly going to be wanting to make changes after this year. This may be a short-term gig. And we've seen this before where there's a coach that's on shaky ground for a variety of reasons. I'm not saying Ron Rivera is. I'm saying coaches who are on shaky ground generally for whatever the reason may be. Ron Rivera is going to be on shaky ground because there's going to be a new owner. He's going to have to perform, or it's going to be, okay, we're going to move on and hire our own guy. That's how it goes. Ron Rivera understands that. But whoever is considered for that job, if you've got options, you're not going to go join the Commanders coaching staff right now. I thought the tenuous nature of the organization and the looming sale, I thought that would have saved Scott Turner. I was surprised that he got fired.
I'm with you. I'm surprised as well. I think it is shaky ground time for Ron Rivera. I do. I mean, I think that's why the move's made. That's what it screams to me a little bit of that, like, oh, wait, it hasn't gone well, and I don't want to use the word scapegoat, but I don't know if I know the other word to use or another word to use here as far as the replacement. It seems like Scott Turner is a little bit that way. Again, was the offense perfect? No. I don't know, Mike. You know me. I'm pretty fair. I'm not necessarily all about the stats either. I kind of always thought their offense was kind of creative. I looked at it and went, wait, the issues with the offense to me were not like the plays or the creativity. To me, it was the quarterback situation was messed up, and that's not Scott Turner's fault. And then the offensive line. I mean, that group right there was not a special group. Yeah, they came together a little bit at the end of the year and finally got going to a point where we were like, okay, yeah, they can protect well enough. And they're running the ball a little bit. Okay. But, yeah, I'm with you. I'm just a little surprised by that with Scott Turner, and it did feel like a little bit like he was, being marked as the scapegoat here as far as the issues in Washington.
Well, and I think the bigger reality is if Ron Rivera has any hope to stay beyond this season, they've got to be significantly improved enough that the new owner will say, we're going to keep going. And you're right. Somebody had to take the fall in order to try to push this thing forward. But of the two coordinators, I would have predicted after this season it would have been Jack Del Rio gone instead of Scott Turner. But again, Del Rio's still there. Who knows, though? We're still early in the days that unfold after a season ends. But Turner is out.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.